Hello. I don't know why I said
Hi,
it like
everybody. Howdy doodle.
Hello, everybody. It's not everybody. I don't know why we say everybody.
Okay. Hello, for potential watchers.
The one viewer. We're always talking to that one viewer. Hold on. Right, I need to change screens. See what we're doing. But yeah, hi. If you are watching us live, say hi. At any point, if you drop in, say hi.
Yeah. Or not. Whatever you want to do. We're a bit easy, Ozzy.
So anyway, what are we doing, Penny?
I don't know. We've come back to play.
Okay. In what way?
To talk to people.
I'll teach you not to prepare.
And educate. So mean. To help with educating them on all things magical, mystical, ethereal, paranormal.
People have arrived.
All that stuff.
Penny, you just said yes.
Yeah, I said yes because I was replying to Jake and then realised that I wasn't actually the admin on it. You are.
Okay.
Oh, just
that
shush
explains.
now.
No, that explains everything. That's fine. So yeah, hi Chloe. Thank you for joining us. Jake,
Hey,
thank you for joining us. That's it. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, bye-bye now. We haven't prepared at all.
We didn't anticipate doing this live to lots of people. This is
No.
us kind of coming back. We've had a year off.
We haven't. We've had 7 months.
Yeah, okay, 7 months. We'll split hairs.
Just being precise.
That's how these shows work. I will say stuff. Penny will contradict it, derail it, and then we'll try and pick it back up.
No. Penny will tell the right answer.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
Chloe's asking, how are we both?
All right.
Thank you for asking, Chloe. Under the pressure. The same as we all are. We're all under a lot of pressure. I don't know about anybody else, but I don't know what happened between 2018 and now. Something fucking went weird in the world, and it feels different.
That's quite mean.
The world feels different.
Seeing we got together in, 2019?
2018?
Yeah, so something's happened between 2018 and now. So I've derailed your life, is what you're saying.
No, that's what you're saying.
Oh,
are you drawing a correlation?
Word.
No, that's not what I'm talking about at all.
So welcome back to us bickering unnecessarily.
But we've had 7 months to try and figure stuff out. There's under an awful lot of pressure to do stuff and try and put content out, even when it's just for 10 people to watch.
Yeah.
There's still time and pressure to do that. Even if it's just on myself, not saying the wrong fucking thing while I'm online and ending up with a ban or something negative and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So
or an attitude.
Yeah, Chloe's got assessments and exams.
Well, you want to do bringing people into the world legitimately. You've got to put some effort in.
Some people deal with the hatching. Some people deal with the matching. Some people deal with the dispatching.
And welcome back.
So yeah, so what are we planning to do? I'm planning just for us to start to recover some of the topics we spoke about before. The tarot, the mediumship, the energy work, the shamanistic stuff that I do, the psychometry that I do. If you haven't watched our little video at Houghton House. If it's got a GH in it, I have no idea how to pronounce it.
It's not Houghton. Oh, now I'll give you another one. It's Houghton.
So anyway, yeah, we've got a video on there of us little wander around there. And in that, I do a little bit of psychometry.
I didn't. We didn't get a lot there, to be fair. It was a lovely, lovely place and in good condition for a ruin.
It was very peaceful.
It was
dead.
Very, very inactive.
Yeah, the energy was...
There was a little bit of swooshing of movement near the doorway, near the entrance, obviously the hallway where people are going to cross. But... not a lot there.
No,
it was cute.
It was a nice place to go if you want to go for a picnic. Although I didn't say in the video, but there's actually no seats. There wasn't a park bench. There wasn't a bench to sit on, and the views were gorgeous.
It's true. Be comfortable sitting on the floor on a blanket, and you're absolutely fine.
That's why there's a sort of sultry picture of us sitting on the steps on the front.
sultry. It just looks like I'm melting on the step because it was surprisingly warm.
And if you are wondering,
and lots of we're looking in the distance.
Yeah, if you are watching it, that was fake. Penny just going, oh look, a train. Another one.
There was a lot of trains.
Yeah,
don't pretend.
How does that spell work? How do you produce trains like that?
I didn't do that. I would have made it a lot more interesting if I was casting magic than a few random trains.
So that's what I'd like to talk about. But as anybody who's watched the shows before or knows me knows full well that there's going to be a slight angle to it. Because for as much as I know what I know about what I know, I also have a skeptical part of my brain that goes, really? Is there a logical explanation for something? Or is there a hole I can pick at this in my beautiful way?
Oh, do you see how much thought and effort he's put into this? He's done notes and everything. And what have I done? I arrived.
Like the star you are.
Indeed. Party starts when I arrive, and that is all. Thank you, Chloe, for sharing on Bookface.
Yeah, a quick little thing about Facebook.
Oh, Lord. Get comfy.
No, it'll be short and sweet. I have a Facebook profile now purely because it was set up to do the Wiccan Warriors, Alistair and Penny Facebook page. So it's kind of there set up, but I've not got it on my phone.
It's not to make friends.
It's to make connections through Facebook. That's great, but it's not something I want on my phone on a day-to-day. Me and Facebook really don't get on. I find the algorithm grating. Same with Instagram. So they're not apps that I'm very active on. No. So yeah. So for all those people that don't want to contact me anyway, don't worry.
Done?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Well, I've just seen a comment by Jake. Hi, Jake. About doing stream tarot readings. Now, here's the thing. If you look back at some of our past many shows, we did do some readings. But the engagement just isn't there in this format. However, I have spent the last couple of days market researching the many readers that are on TikTok. I have been banned by a number of them just for saying hello. So that's interesting. It's like they take a second, click on me, read my bio, and then decide that I'm some kind of threat and instantly block me from their account, which was interesting. I saw a little girl on there dowsing, and it was quite an interesting little technique she had going on, and not one I've ever seen before. Those of you that know me know that I'm a third generation dowser, and put a lot of stock into it, doing it right. And I just put, interesting. I'm a dowser. She instantly blocked me. So, yeah, I think it highlighted to me there are many out there that maybe are, and they're the ones that actually had the huge gifting bits on it, and said a lot about give me gifts. And I don't have an issue with that at all. Give me gifts. I love a present as much as the next man. But they were quite heavy on the give us gifts. You're not getting a reading unless. On the flip side of that, there were, sorry, I'm just chattering over you.
No, it's fine.
There were a number that didn't charge anything, and they absolutely could if they wanted to, that were very open, very welcoming, very chatty, and when I made her cry. I don't know how I did it.
You're calling her names, being mean.
I wasn't calling her names and being mean. I wasn't even being nice to her. I can't remember what it was. She gave me a comment. She said a comment to me, and then she started crying and went, "I'm really sorry. I don't know what it is. I've connected with you." And and I just feel really, really emotional, which was nice. So I'm now following her, and I dipped into one of her lives just before we came on air, and she seems like she's a nice person. I think it's quite hard to judge somebody's ability when you do readings over the internet. It is quite difficult to have that connection with somebody, if that makes sense.
I struggle. I'm not keen on doing tarot like that because part of my tarot reading is reading the person.
The energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm.
So it's quite difficult.
Yeah, I'm analysing their energy, so is the cards, and everything's present.
With cards, I don't have such an issue, but if I it's not as great as in person. But if you were trying to do any other reading, I don't know how you would do that. So anyway, I did a bit of market research. We shall see. I haven't got enough followers. Get onto TikTok and follow me.
What's the TikTok name?
I can't remember. Penny the Empath. It's the same. I put it on everything. It's like that old lady thing where all your passwords have to be the same thing, so I don't even know what my passwords are. That's shocking. I'm old now, so that's something that's happened.
In the same vein, I've spent a bit of time having a look at the ghost hunting world and the people that are doing live streams for mediumship and live ghost hunts. And I just, shall I go back to talking candid and not give a shit?
Don't swear if you can. If you can't, that's fine. Do it anyway. Not necessarily name names.
I find it weird. And I struggle with trying to engage with how they're presented it. They present all of their footage. I'm not a person that likes to watch a found footage film where it's shaky camera work, the camera's too close to an infrared lit face because we're doing all this in the dark. I just couldn't get my head around it. So I kind of disengaged from it a bit. And then we got a call to go and do a little appearance surprise on another YouTuber's page. And that, in the moment, was handled quite professionally. But afterwards, I think it had all been handled quite badly. And he wasn't what we weren't what was expected of that channel. And that made me immediately think ghost hunters producing stuff on YouTube, is it just for entertainment purposes, or is there a genuine hunt for the paranormal to prove it's right for the fact of proving it, or is it just about content and random doors opening and claiming you can hear noises and there's walking, there's footsteps? There is so much fakery now in everything. There's fakery in politics with AI generated faces doing narration on videos. I just think that this has been going on since the days of Most Haunted. And that really pisses me off because in those days, we used to have friends, not we, at the time, we used to have friends around and we'd watch that and we'd have a beer and then we'd do some tarot cards and do some cleansing. And we'd have it was like a little mini circle and it was over Most Haunted on telly. And then it came out as fake.
I drove 4 hours to North Wales to be on Most Haunted Live. And yeah, there's a lot of fakery.
It's for entertainment, and that's fine. Colin Fry's for entertainment. It says right across the front. I get it.
No, they have to. It's a caveat.
Yeah, but that's on TV, and TV people are making something that's supposed to have an element of credibility to it.
No, because it's put out as entertainment.
Exactly. It's not put out as a factual documentary. Quick interlude. Marion made it. Yay. Marion's home.
Yay.
She got trapped having to socialise with family.
Ugh. Not Marion's family. I don't know Marion's family. Just family in general.
I struggled with it. In the time when we came off of YouTube, I wanted to go on some hunts and go to some locations, and I just couldn't figure out. We tried to go to some haunted museums, and they're all a bit clicky, and they say open on their website, and then you turn up and they're not, because you have to book, because it's an appointment. And it's like, okay, we've collected a whole load of stuff that I think films, and Jake will relate to this, films have manipulated how people are looking for ghosts and what we expect as evidence of ghosts and of the paranormal. It's changed the human, what we think will prove their existence won't, if you know what I mean. Because the people that are doing these things I don't think they're all in it for the same thing.
Oh, I don't think they're all in it for the same thing. I think there are lots that are, and certainly I've been part of ghost hunting teams, and I've been on investigations, and I absolutely would not condone any fakery in the slightest, because ghost hunts are boring. You can spend hours walking around, calling out, and get nothing at all.
Yeah. And you know what? If a ghost hunting team actually went out, did a whole night's hunt, and then did a little 1-minute video that said, this is the only thing we caught, I'd watch that. Because
you just want the 1-minute video to tell you.
I don't want the wandering up and down the lanes and then cutting back to Dave in the chair who's got the monitor. Oh, I've been watching them dolls on there and they've not moved. We did have a door open. It's just, it's all too, and too much stuff going on to hear what you want to hear.
Yeah, because everybody wants evidence.
And on that vein, we're going to go out and do some stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be a camera in my face going around doing this stuff. We'll try and catch it or explain how it works, but I want to change the way it's recorded, but I don't yet know how I'm going to do it.
No pressure.
I don't know.
No.
But I'm sure we'll find a faithful ghost hunter to join us.
He's hoping.
So, yeah.
So, anyway, you got some of that bitterness and bile out?
I did. It annoyed me. And it's not just from the ghost hunting sort of community either. It's also the amount of random crystal sales, jewelry sales that have all gone up for the monetization of paganism. And this sort of TikTok shops, that the pound shop, pagan shop, and just all this. There's a lot of, I don't know, corrupt commercialization of something that comes from
it's almost,
a very strong spiritual basis in me.
It's almost like profiteering off a belief system.
Yeah, I mean, to me.
But to be fair, that happens all the time. Buy a Bible, buy a cross, buy a St. Christopher.
I'm sure all crucifixes are not all worn by Christians.
No.
So I get it. It's just I found it's the first time I've sort of been frustrated by something.
Yeah.
I struggle to monetize this stuff. Anybody who's asked me for a tarot reading knows I struggle with this. I don't see a monetary value in it.
Of course there's a monetary value.
There's an emotional value and a spiritual value in it, but I don't see a monetary value in it.
But love don't pay the rent.
No, I get that. So there is kind of, there needs to be some form of financial transaction, I suppose.
And that's why he's with a grown-up.
It does my head in. I don't like money. I hate money.
No.
On that note, though, if you do like what we do and you do want to see more of it, we have got a Patreon site. Well, I have got a Patreon site. Patreon, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
So I'll work something out and put a sort of a means on there for people to just be able to drop, I don't know, like a tip jar or something.
Yeah.
Just to chip in. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll think about it.
Yeah.
What's Chloe about TikTok? There's a lot of TikTokers that seem to think it's an easy way. Yeah, well, it is.
And it is, to be fair. It absolutely is. It's quite upsetting. I got more and more agitated the more that I engaged with it. Sometimes I'd just flick through and watch for a bit, and sometimes I would engage with them and have a conversation. But there's people that are saying, I've been on here since 7 o'clock this morning doing this. And it's like, yeah, I can tell.
Yeah. But I mean, there's always been fakeries.
You're here because it's easy money. Because there'll always be people that are desperate, that want a connection.
Yeah.
And
there'll always be people out there, and there has been since the early 1900s, table tippers and all their...
There'll always be charlatans.
Yeah, cabinets and all the kind of, I don't know.
Do you know what? When stuff happens, whether it's on a ghost hunt, whether it happens to you as a personal experience, it is the most amazing experience you will ever have. And it can terrify you, but it doesn't mean that you never want it to happen again. And it is amazing. It's just unfortunate that there's such a demand to make it appear that something's occurred, because it is boring. It is long-winded and it is boring.
And they're walking around trying to confirm something I already know. It's like knowing the end of the book.
Yeah, but you know it, but other people don't, which is why ghost hunting companies, it's big business. It's good money.
Right. So next time you're going out hunting, if you're a ghost hunter and you're watching this, don't believe you're going to find something. No, you're going to find something. You just might not be able to record it on whatever it is you brought with you.
And just at the end of that, don't be desperate. Many, many, many years ago, I was on an investigation.
That's the pressure of content.
Yeah, it is. But this was before...
Even Netflix are doing that.
Yeah, this was before the days of real social media, before Instagram, before TikTok. There was a lady that was a part of the team who said, how do you do it? I really, really want to have this connection. And I felt this and I've done this. And it felt so desperate. And I said to her, you're desperate. Stop it. Stop doing that. Just open yourself up to a connection and it will come to you if it's going to come to you. But don't force it, because that shuts a door. It doesn't open one.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've no idea what any of the messages are. I've not.
That was just Leah saying she enjoyed when she's been out with us on ghost hunts because they're relaxed and authentic and fun.
Yeah. Bit boring, long-winded, but
boring to watch a video, but actually doing it in person is a whole experience. And that's the thing. If you get the opportunity to go on a ghost hunt, go on one.
Yeah.
It's not that I have the thing with. It's the footage that gets put on YouTube and how that tile card will imply they found something. That's the little, what do they call that? Like clickbait, honey trap.
Thirst trap.
Do you know what I mean? It's weak on a ghost. And you click on it. You've got to sift through 45 minutes of 3 people wandering around in the dark for that bit that was a potentially shaky camera. It's like, are you based that whole 45-minute video or 30-minute video on that tiny little bit?
To be honest, we're not keen on the technical side of ghost hunting.
I don't understand it. Once I understand it, I might do.
I'm not keen on the technical side of ghost hunting. We are natural receivers or natural aerials. And
I've got an aerial.
Stop it. And so it begins. For that kind of contact. So I, and anybody that's been on a ghost hunt with me absolutely knows I will moan a lot about what are they called? The white noise things that crackle and radio-y waves that just go
Don't know.
Cardigan. Like they said cardigan,
scanner.
It must be an old lady.
I can't remember what this scanner's called.
They irritate me. Not because I don't think that they work, because I do absolutely believe in EVP. I like the purity of a connection. I don't like noise, and I don't like lights, and I know that positive energy brings an energy up, and spirit's more likely to connect because it's got something to.
Was it Spirit Box?
Yeah, probably.
Or was it a PSB 7,
Yeah.
etc.?
Which bit of I don't do technical was you struggling with, Chloe? There, come on, wake up, girl.
I don't know.
So yeah, I am not great with the noises, the flashing lights, and any investigation that I've been on, I tend to just wander off on my own anyway with my rods, and do my own thing. And again, anybody who's been on a hunt with me will absolutely know that's true, and I will get in trouble for just wandering off into a room that I've been told not to go in. But I'm about the purity of it. So I understand that EVP is almost approved phenomenon. Thank you. It's just not my thing. And that's why you have a team. You have a team so that everybody has their own strengths and their own interests. And I think we miss a lot of that in the ghost hunt programs. And it just becomes about the one person, the one celebrity, and not, let's try some different skills. Let's have a look, rather than there's a glass on that table. We're just going to stare at it, all of us, and see if we can get it to move.
But honestly, if you put all the ghost hunting channels all lined up and went like that, flicked through,
it's the same thing.
You would never know which channel you were looking at or which team you were looking at, unless it was their face on there, obviously, because it's starting to fit. It's repetitive.
Yeah.
And that's part of my ADHD, I suppose. Once something starts to become repetitive, it's boring, and I've got to change it to figure out, and then I have to make a change.
Yeah.
But I can't make a change to how other people do ghost hunts, so I just stop watching.
So.
But I really enjoy stuff.
We are going to be doing some stuff. Sorry, I'm really hot sitting here.
Arrogant, but agreed.
Oh.
Everybody tell Penny how hot she is.
Stop it now.
My very own thirst trap.
I'm way too old to believe that. No, so we are going to be going out and we're going to be doing some stuff, and hopefully it'll be a little bit different. Hopefully it will be interesting. And I do think we need to go from the perspective of it doesn't need to be an hour long. Let's fill it with potentially something could happen, but it never did.
No, chances are we'll let you know we've been somewhere, and then we'll talk about it on the show on the Sunday.
Yeah.
And tell you how we found it and pop some pictures up on that.
Yeah.
If there is some footage we can put together, even if it's just introducing the building and what we're hoping to find, and then a general roundup of how we felt afterwards. I want to get it down to its bare bones.
Yes.
If you get the skeletal reference.
Yeah.
So anyway, right, changing the subject, because that's ghosts and ghost side of things, and that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
I also now want to flip over to our beliefs, our knowledge side of working with spirits.
Okay.
Spirit guides. That's something I want to talk about on here again. Not today, but we'll go through how we've connected with guides, what animal guides we've got. We'll also talk about Reiki, tarot, mediumship. If there is anybody out there who would like to join us to talk about any particular topic, then drop us a message, let us know. Because other things I'd like to talk about on here, because they influence us from a spiritual perspective, is conspiracies. I think some of the paranormal stuff is getting, there's a weird crossover, I think, where it's starting to feel like a bit of a conspiracy logic. So if you talk about paranormal, you must be one of those kind of people as well, that we're all kind of ending up together, I think.
But there are people that have crossover beliefs.
Oh, of course there is. I've got lots of views on conspiracy theories, hence why I've hopefully got a new podcast mate to chat about.
And it's not me, thank God.
Conspiracy theories and whether we fucking think they're
Do you know the stuff that I'm not
likely.
Interested in? Somebody to do that.
But he seems like the sensible one. So in the situation where, and so
that's worry.
Hopefully that'll work.
So around
Jake's asked a good question. How do you know what your animal guide is?
they can come through in many different ways. The way that it was given to me was to sit and basically sit quietly with your eyes closed and try to empty your brain. I would say meditate, but obviously meditation is subjective and not everybody can sit and empty their mind. But basically just put the question out there and see what comes to you. So for some people, they could feel a dog brushing against their leg, but their eyes are closed. They can't see. And obviously if you've got pets in the house, you don't really want to do it in the same room. Or a cat circling your ankles, or you may hear the wings of a bird or a horse nudging onto your shoulder. And it's about opening yourself up to that connection for your animal guide to come through. And I think, again, around that, there's people that will say, I will tell you what your animal guide is and I will draw a picture of your animal guide. Well, it's not for them to see. It's your guide. And ordinarily, your guides won't be visible to somebody else. They won't be communicating with somebody else because they're your guide.
You have to build on a feeling.
Or be open to.
So you opened your mind to ask Spirit to show you who your animal guide is. If nothing comes to you while you sit and kind of meditate for 10 minutes, just keep posing the question and see what animals you notice more, or what animals seem to interact with you more or cross your path more.
Or
on
do
a
you
day-to-day
even
basis.
want an animal guide? Why do you want an animal guide? What are they guiding you for? I don't have one, but I don't have a guide either. But that's probably because I'm quite annoying and pushy and they couldn't get a word in.
I do, but we'll talk about that in another show.
Yeah, good question though.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Very good question. Oh, I need. Sorry, that looked awful on screen.
So with the other bits, where have we got to? Are we here?
Yeah.
Okay, so there was something that I wanted to say about that I think was an unintentional thing, but we did it anyway, and it was the right time to do it. So we work primarily in the light. So the light is about giving people healing, and it's a very superficial, on the surface, make people feel better, help people to learn and feel better, and that's what light work is about. When we stopped doing the share, and it was getting to be a bit of a grind, if I'm honest, that was the time that we needed for reflection. So during that 7 months, whether we were aware of it at the time or not, we then started to do some shadow work. So we weren't giving healings. We gave very few readings. We did do some huge, spectacular readings, actually.
Yeah.
But in the main, what we were doing was shadow work.
Was 30 people.
Yeah, that was quite a busy night. We actually had a queue left of people going, but I want a reading. And it was like, yeah, but I want to go home.
Absolutely far too many people laid out in the wrong way.
Yeah. Anyway, so what we were doing was shadow work. And with shadow work, what you're doing is it's a lot about working on, where do your gifts come from? What is there about yourself that you need to fix so that you don't begrudge somebody else getting a healing? So things like past trauma, shame, guilt, poor self esteem, all of those things that we've experienced in our past that has brought us to the point where we are sharing our gifts with other people. That is the shadow work, and that's the hard bit, and that's the bit where you have to look at the horrible things the horrible experiences that you've had, and how they've shaped the person that you are, so that you can go out and when you give readings and healings and things, you are clear. And it's a good experience for both of you. And it's not, oh, are we going to lose so many hours? Not that we were really like that anyway. But we had a lot of self-reflection to do. And that is what shadow work is about. Okay, so it's not dark magic. Shadow work is about looking inside you, looking at the things that have, it's looking at the things that have shaped you to become the reader, the healer, the person that helps other people. It's what got you there. That's what shadow work is. So I don't think that that's ever really explained enough, and people have a misconception about it and think exactly that it is about dark magic and Satanism, and it isn't. It's about self-reflection. So I hope that makes sense. It's a bit waffly, but
in a movie setting, it'd be a Tom Cruise movie in the middle where he has that crisis of self.
That's
so he's like that, and then you go, oh, okay,
and
right, fine. We've learned the lesson, and you realise,
yeah,
I'll stop.
So you
this
pick apart all the horrible
behaviour.
bits, and you bring them out into the light, and you look at them, and you realise what has shaped you to become the person that goes out and does these things for other people. So sometimes we do have to have the balance of light and dark.
Right. I feel like I need to say something straight off. Right. Influences from film: dark magic, black magic, white magic, light magic. There is no colour to it. It's just magic. It's your intention that makes it good or bad. We tend to have a logic as human beings to put things into two teams, either black and white. If you're this kind of Jedi, you'll have that colour lightsaber.
In the old days, it was a black hat, white hat, wasn't it?
Yeah. So kind of dark magic, white magic, reflective of sort of good and bad. It's the same. Energy is energy. Electricity is electricity. What you plug it into changes what it becomes. And that's exactly it. You draw the energy in, wherever you manifest and send out, your intention is whether it is good or bad, whether it's light or dark, if you want a comparative.
And with that, you have to consider, if you are using magic, and magic is something that you don't learn overnight, that is years and years and decades of learning to do it properly. And it's not just about putting together spells, it is about learning the history of and why those things occur. And in my case, herbology.
Grimoire.
You would start a grimoire to keep that.
We're not talking about
information
magic either, not like David Copperfield and
no, not Paul Daniels magic for the older ones in the audience.
Not a lot, but you'll like it.
Yeah. But what you've got to consider is what comes with magic is either, depending on your belief system, karma, or the threefold law. So whatever you put out comes back on you 3 times. And those that say, oh no, I only practice dark magic, and who are you to tell me I should only do this and that? I'm not there to tell anybody what to do, but do you know what? It's going to bite you in the bum. So at some point, if you put something negative out there, something negative is going to come back at you. It's about what your intentions are, and we get punished. We do. So can you learn it? Yeah, you can. Why do you want to?
Yeah, fair comment. But we will talk about things like that as well. Energy work, working with people that are what you consider to be like psychic vampires. When you talk to them, you only have to talk to them for 10 minutes and you feel drained.
Not even 10 minutes. I can get them as a walk in a room.
So
I can absolutely
when you work with energy, you feel it everywhere. In everything to a certain extent. I mean, you can sort of lock it off.
To be fair, there has to be an element of closing down.
Yeah, under GDPR.
Otherwise,
we can't just go around willy-nilly reading your energy. It's not allowed anymore.
And I wouldn't want to do that anyway. There has to be consent with it as well.
Yeah.
But it can be very difficult. There are times when I've not been very focused, whether it's because I've been unwell or for whatever reason, and I've gone to a very public space where there are lots and lots of people.
I've lost it. It's on the floor down there.
Okay. Where there's lots and lots of people, and been completely overwhelmed with the emotions that I've picked up from everybody, because I'm getting everybody's emotions all at once. So closing down's a huge thing to learn.
I'm adding that to the list.
What are you adding to the list?
Shadow work.
Shadow work.
So we can do a bit more of an explanation into it. Is there any other topics you'd like us to cover? Whatever sort of topic.
To be fair, you haven't got to take our word for it. The internet is there and it is full of information. It is not necessarily full of the right information.
Oh, yeah, no, we're not delivering facts.
It is full of opinions, which is exactly what this is. It is us giving our opinions from our perspective, from our experiences. It doesn't mean that we're necessarily right. I'd like to think that we are working in the right way, and we are working in the light, and fairly knowledgeable. But that's exploration. That's what you do. You need to go out there and explore and learn. But don't take everything as read. Please don't take everything as read.
No, there's a lot of fake. I mean, there's an absolute fake abundance of crystals going around at the minute. For those that don't realise,
you
crystals...
can grow them.
Oh, it's fundamentally, glass.
Yeah.
You can grow them from various minerals.
Yeah.
But people are paying lots of money for them.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to talk about Etsy.
It's feeling a bit bitter.
No, not from the perspective of the creative people that actually produce one-off items and sell them on Etsy, albeit they sell them a bit fucking expensive. I'm talking about the people on Etsy that are producing this stuff and now being ripped off by scammers.
Yeah.
They advertise that it's their stuff and then send them some absolute twaddle bent up coat hangers as a sculpture.
Nice.
So there's a lot of this going on, and part of within that 7 months of us being away is I don't know how to explain it. I find people hard sometimes. People are difficult.
I didn't realise how much we liked lockdown.
Yeah, I found lockdown although it was quite isolating, and I miss a certain amount of interactions with certain people, but I've never been a person that was always around at somebody's house drinking coffee. I've always liked my own space. But since that lockdown, people are different. Yeah. The world is different. Nobody's sitting back anymore and going, yeah, okay, no problem at all.
Everybody's
they're protesting.
Arguing.
Everybody wants more money. Everybody's part of a union. Everybody's on strike. And we're just constantly getting this. Is this the normal average person's uprising? No, we're being distracted from something, but I don't know what it is yet.
Conspiracy theory. Save that for another day.
This is not a conspiracy theory. This is the way the world has been run.
It is. It's called propaganda.
No, it's not propaganda either. It's the way
we're showing you things to distract you potentially from something significant that's happening.
That's how governing bodies have controlled the masses forever.
Yes, it's called propaganda.
Yeah. Is it classed as propaganda, Jake? I want a thesaurus to vouch on that one. I don't think what I was saying was propaganda.
Isn't Susie Dent? Over to Dictionary Corner now.
I want verification from somebody smart. Penny outworded me, and I'm not sure if I lost or not.
Yes, as usual, you did, but you'll find out later.
So that's what's the other thing you said you wanted to do? You want to do stories or something?
Oh, I did.
The other reason why you need live.
So yeah, I do, but
I'm gonna drink my coffee for a minute. I feel like I ranted. Did I rant?
I could go live on here, to be fair, and do that, and I could go live on here. But basically, if you remember,
Thanks,
we
Jake.
did. What did he agree?
He put, "I'm not the judge. Make up your own minds."
I am the judge and the jury. Yeah, if you recall, some of a couple of shows near the end, I touched on fairy tales and true fairy tales, not the Disney propaganda that is put out now. And don't even get me started on the remaking of all the children's films and stories to make them PC.
Woke cinema. That's what I need to add to my list under conspiracy.
Right. So it's about the original telling of stories. So when stories were first passed, when there wasn't the TV, there wasn't the internet, and stories were told between towns, between countries, and then they started writing them down. So I think I've shown it on here before that I've got a Grimm's fairy tale, like a proper one, not an edited version.
Sorry, I just yawned there, folks.
And I lost an entire afternoon while Alistair was out working reading fairy tales. And so I did say that I was going to do it. And then I was going to sit and read out of the book and tell the fairy tale as it was supposed to be told, not the sugar-coated version that we get told now. But not allowed to do that. Yeah, I know, it would be amazing because that would be plagiarism. Unless I paid the copyright on it, or I got permission from the original author, which I can't because he's dead, or the publisher. But you would have to pay a royalty to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some of the... Stop giving me more work. Jeez Louise, I just said lost an afternoon just reading them to myself. Is that I'm going to do like a summary of version of the fairy tale. So instead of it being half an hour read of a story, it will be condensed to a short telling that will be around 5 minutes or so. It'll be
Jake's
a little
saying
snippet.
some of the fairy tales are in the public domain.
Yes, but it's really hard to know which ones. And if it's the original story, yeah, you're not allowed to come anymore. block that man. Yeah, it's whether it's the original story or not, because what they're putting out isn't the original story. So they are doing what I intend to do, which is a retelling, but in a not a verbatim way, like a Cliff Note version.
So again, so if you'd like that, drop us a message, let us know.
And I'll get working on it. I've already started rewriting.
TikTok?
Yes, find Penny the Empath. And follow. There is some utter crap on my TikTok. I get really easily distracted by things. Let's put some decent content on there. Help me. Oh, shush now. But yeah, fairy tales.
So yeah. So join us. I'm going to say every Sunday, but ideally every Sunday at 8 o'clock. If you'd like to listen to us waffle about stuff, or if you've got questions, I want it to kind of feel like a bit like a YouTube open circle where we can talk about spiritual stuff, and we won't all agree on the stuff. Me and Penny still disagree on different things. Let's not talk about funerals.
Oh, human composting, that's my new favourite.
Or the owning of bunny rabbits at home. If you're not aiming to eat it, what's the point?
Because they're cute and fluffy.
So yeah, so we won't please everybody.
No.
But yeah, thanks for watching.
A star of blessings to everybody.
Yeah, it's Easter. We've come back at Easter. Rebirth.
Estra.
What do you have to say like that?
Estra. Because that's what the original term is. Estra.
Ostara.
Or Ostara.
Yeah, German.
It's both.
You sounded like...
Anyway.
You sounded like an Eastern European when you said it.
What is your problem with that?
Ostara's come from Germany. Or just say it in an English accent.
It's pagan.
What accent's pagan?
It hasn't got an accent because it's worldwide.
Excellent. So like I say, if you'd like to hear us try to figure out what's going on,
please tell us if you find out what's going on.
So yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for joining us on our little return. We've got things coming out. Things will come out on our TikTok and our Instagram, and it'll come out on here. So yeah, we've got stuff planned. Some we can't talk about just yet. It's kind of exciting. So, but we'll let you know as and when we can. But thank you very much for watching us, and we'll see you at the next one. Bye.
Bye.